Okay, and now we are back, and so how are we going to continue here? Where is this button? Yeah. How are we going to continue here? So here is this. Shall we do this one? Try to add the test for this one.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I thought is that let's try to. Well, actually, okay. So this says parse time stamp tz. Let me parse time in the T files. Okay, so there are this this is how the tests look like, right? Or some of the tests at least. Okay, we can take a look at how one of the tests. Okay. So okay. So let's try to add. Well, I'm not sure if I would like to add it here because it says TZ 1001 and 2038. So maybe. So this is sort of testing the extremes of that the timestamps. So maybe there should be a separate file. So what was this? Datetime doesn't parse valid string. Again, what is this?
What is?
I'm trying to understand what is the time. What sort of is the case here? Here I see that it's trying to parse a date where it's okay. But this is the function timestamp tz. So let's create just a test file. Okay, so this is the test file, and I'm going to create just a test file. I copy this whole thing, and I call it tz. Let's get parse time stamp tz. Okay, I just call it this way. Okay, I don't need this first one. We are going to have one test for now. Okay, and this is the bug report. Okay, so it's so and it will give invalid date format. So this is now the test, and here, okay, so far it's good. Do you think it's okay, this test?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, we don't need any of these yet, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, so there's no test yet. It's just calling the functions, and I would like to see what happens then. So I run proof t, and it's called parse time stamp tz. Okay, so I get invalid date format. It's an exception, or it looks like an exception, right?
Yeah.
So
Just
let's, what if, so I guess this works. So the problem is with the time zone thing. This I mean, based on the
yeah,
fact
well,
that
actually, yeah, I mean, you've
here
got
we have,
times. Let me just check something.
okay,
Okay, it should work, I think, according to the documentation.
okay, what happened now? So okay, let's try. I'll try to see simple test. Just saying, okay, one. This should work, right?
I
Let's
believe
make
so.
sure that okay, pass this test passes. Okay, now I run this function, and it's still the okay. So this function, this call now is okay, but if I try with time zone is UTC, then it does. It says
Well,
it
that would be
fails.
wrong, wouldn't it? Oh, okay, it might be right.
Sorry.
That should be okay. I think. I don't know actually.
So
I don't know
this
what it will
I copied it
do.
from here, right?
Yeah,
So
but
if
I
it's
can't remember. Anyway, you'll see. Let's see.
so if it's
Yeah.
if it's UTC here,
Yeah. Where are you actually in the? So what is your time zone in the? Assume
no
you're
idea. How do I know what is the time zone?
That's a good question. Normally
Something TZ config, no?
it's capital TC. Yeah.
TZ
Okay.
data. You don't need TZ data. I don't have it here. I can look at the date.
Okay, so it says UTC.
Well, that's
So
in the Docker, right?
that's right. That's kind of what my point was really. If you're running that, it's actually in the Docker.
Yeah. So there is this TZ, the other test. So
Well, it'd be quite interesting because it begs the question: what happens if we change the time zone?
So when I run the other test, so does it look at the time zone of the computer
Well,
where we
yeah,
are running?
exactly. Good question.
I guess not, because then this test would fail on one computer and not the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this test works, and I don't know what is the difference between this call. Okay, so I'm just going to copy now this one. Okay, so this should work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, this works. Now what happens if I change here? 1, 2, 2, 0. Okay, this should still work, right?
I believe so.
I mean, but it doesn't. So why is not and on the other hand, 2038, right? So it's totally unclear to me why this is not UTC.
That looks okay to me too. Is it the test that failed, or did it fail to pass it? I didn't see.
It's this is not okay. So the parsing was okay, but
Well, let's see what the time zone is.
So let's put just an
Well, yeah,
okay one here.
Drop the is UTC off the print statement.
Okay, just a second, but I is minus. I forgot how to get the verb. It's verbose.
V.
Right? Okay, so it printed out 0. And then you say, okay, so let's print out the time zone. It says
Oh, okay, so it's an object.
Floating, right?
Okay, floating, that's right.
Wait a second. So this is floating.
That's right. That's what happens with date time, isn't it? If you don't tell it what time zone it is, it's basically, it doesn't know. So it says it's a time, but I don't know what the time zone is.
Okay, but how does it know that this is UTC?
That's a very good question.
And this is UTC. So that's a very interesting one, but it's floating. Okay, so let's try to see if this is floating. I'm getting confused by windows. And wait. Now it says 1. Okay. And I don't understand why is it complaining about the tests. Bad plan. You planned 1 test but ran 0. Why? Okay. That print. Oh, because the. Oh, I haven't done this too much recently. The normal way is to say diag here.
Absolutely.
That's the. Otherwise, it will it will confuse the output. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so this is fine. And now if we go to this one, this should be also fine, right? This should be also floating. Okay, and I don't need this one anymore. It was just to play with. So this is the date that the bug reporter reported. And it's floating, fine. But this is the bug, okay? And this should be also floating. No, maybe not.
I know, because you told it what time zone it is. If you don't tell it what time zone it is, it doesn't know. So it's just basically, it's like saying my shop opens at 9:30 in the morning, but if you don't know where in the world you are, you don't know where it is. Where you said it's Eastern Standard Time now, so you know it should be Eastern Standard.
Okay, so I'm not sure that it's correct format, but this is what we get here. Okay, so this is one test case. The other test case was the same thing, but just the Z at the end, right? So let's try this one. What happens now? Okay, it also said invalid date format.
There's something very strange about the original test, which I've never really looked at before.
Sorry?
The original test you're looking at, TZ_1901_2033, 38.
Yeah.
So it's got so it's got this the 12th of December 1901. and whatever. The first two are UTC.
Yeah.
And the last two, which are, it's a Y2K thing. It's very strange. I mean, why is those two UTC and the other two floating? That makes no sense to me.
No. Well, that's a separate thing to say that, okay, now we have a test that passes but is incorrect.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to think is that so it what if I put it in this way, plus 0.3? Okay, so this one parses, and it's a time zone of offset only. Okay. So that would be, where is the documentation of this module? Oh, so this is time zone object. Okay, so the time zone object is, I guess, is a date time object, right?
Well, no, it's a time zone object. It's not a date time.
Okay. It's date time zone. Okay. So I guess it's a subclass of date time zone. I'm trying to figure out what method could I use besides is floating and is. So how could I verify that this is the correct?
Well, it won't be either of those two.
No, this is the second one is it says offset only. That's the type.
Okay. Okay, so that's it's just going to say it's going to have like an hour, like the offset only is going to be like the 3 hours or whatever, 5 hours, the Eastern Standard Time's off GMT.
Okay, wait a second. This one I got from this that I had this plus 3.
But add add the method name onto the time zone. So so a dash name there. Yeah. And I'm guessing it's either going to be EST or +3. Okay.
Okay, so we can compare that.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense because it's PS. So I'm not sure. And it says just invalid date time, doesn't it? Yeah.
So what is this? Oh, just the plan. Plan is out of. Okay. So we have this test now. Okay, but so it's if so do I from the question, okay, I don't understand what this module is supposed to do, but from the question here or from the report, I understand that it's supposed to get a string that it's a date string that Postgres can parse, and it should also parse, right?
Yeah.
That's basically.
It should basically take a string that comes out of Postgres that looks like a, well, however it's stored in Postgres, and turn that into a datetime object, and vice versa.
Okay, so now what you're saying is, I think, different from what I thought, because what you're saying is that what comes out from Postgres as here, and this comes out from Postgres, and this is the input.
It depends if this is parse or format. This is parse, isn't it? So this is going to be.
So what I'm saying here is that this screenshot doesn't prove that this type of data can come out from Postgres.
No. Yes, I agree.
So I can launch a Postgres server here, and we can play with it.
Yeah, it's just doing the same thing. I'm just
Okay.
parse.
Let's do that. So I have this this window where I have the Docker file, so I can run Docker run how do I do this now? I think it's just the server, but it's not. It doesn't have the client in there. Oh, I think I have it somewhere else. Let's try to find it. CD works slides Docker examples, and then I have right, Docker compose up. Okay. Oh, it's installing lots of stuff. Why do we need it? I don't know.
Oh.
Okay, so I can now wait a second. Where is this slide? Code Maven slides Docker doc Postgres. So this is what I can do. PSQL minus host might be. And the password is password. Okay, so I'm in a Postgres server now. Okay. And it's very unfortunate that that's an image and not some text. Yeah. Okay, so let's try to type it in. Select, and then 2021, 2021, 10, 12,
Yeah.
09, 04, 07, est, time stamp, easy. Okay. And for whatever reason here,
you're absolutely right. I mean, looking at it, this guy has got it the wrong way around.
Sorry.
So the guy's got it the wrong way around. The parse should look at what Postgres has got, and he's doing it the opposite way around. He's trying to parse what you're entering. The EST thing is not something Postgres would generate. I'm sure you can generate it by whatever, but it's not what you get if you just said, give me the data in this field without some special formatting.
How do you do this? Select date? Select date?
No, just select and then whatever you want. So put that in quotes or something, and then.
Well, we have this one.
That'll do.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, also this worked.
Yeah. But that's the wrong way round for what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
That's he wants to get the result of that and pass it into.
Yeah. Okay.
And that works. That works.
Okay. Yeah. So this is what this is what we saw in the test as well.
Yeah.
Okay. That that if you put in already the 03, then you get back something.
Yeah.
But okay. So basically what you're saying, if I understand correctly, that this is a user error or
it's misunderstanding
of what should work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next one looks more interesting.
Okay. So what date time format PG parse times and should this so I don't understand because this is just regular time format. Why is it anything special for Postgres?
Well, it's basically because well, for example, in well, I mean, because if you were getting stuff from MySQL from somewhere else, whatever, you just want to say, get me this date from the database, and I don't care what format it is. You know, but I know it's MySQL or I know it's Postgres.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, just give me the date. And so dbic class, for example, has got an inflate column thing in there, and basically you just stick this thing in and it just turns all the dates into so that's why you need one specific to Postgres.
Right. Okay. Okay. So yeah, but I mean, is there anything special that in its formatting? So isn't this just a fall through method should be?
I don't suppose it does.
Parsing.
I imagine it just doesn't do anything very significant for that. I haven't looked at the code.
I mean, we can look at the source code. Date time format PG and parse time create class. So this is created automatically, this function here. So I don't really understand what is in this code. There's documentation. There is this European and server TZ thing.
Yeah, that's
It's not tested, as you remember, but at least
yeah.
one of them, the server TZ, is not tested.
There's some. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much you know about time zones. Basically, they're fine, except that there's a lot of ambiguity in them.
Yes.
So I can't remember a specific case now, but something like EST could easily be used somewhere else.
Yeah,
I think we
sure,
know
sure.
it as the Eastern Standard, that Eastern Standard Time, whatever it is, but it's probably could easily be used somewhere completely different. And there's quite a few that are ambiguous. Only there's a convention if you're in Europe that you'd use one set of prefixes or suffixes or whatever, abbreviations. And if you're, say, in South America where the EST was used, you'd use different set. And so there's Postgres at least has this way of saying, I'm in Europe, therefore I'm going to use this convention. And I don't actually know what date time does, because it must have essentially the same issue.
Yeah, okay. You just scared me even more. I knew that there are issues with dates and times, and now you I mean, actually I knew that that this short 3-letter time zone definitions are not unique, because the Israeli local time and the Indian local time.
Okay.
So,
well, that's exactly the sort of thing. And then, of course, but some of them are actually 4 letters as well, which is good for a laugh. In the Azores, the summertime is WEEST. Anyway, it's just boring.
Yeah. Okay, so
well,
okay. So I think I mean, we can add the test. Just
well, I
don't know if we need any test here at the end. Now that we understand that the problem wasn't even with the code, and this is even the generated function. So I guess it's generated from something where it's already tested.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So that wasn't a useful part of the session. Okay. Okay, so let me comment here. Okay. I don't know, actually. I'm just, shall I say, I mean, I can say that I don't know much about this module, but that doesn't, yeah. Okay. Or would you want to comment? I mean, understand more.
No. Well, I'd like to, perhaps after the lecture, to go and actually look at, because I'm still really confused about why in this TZ 1901-2038, why some of them are UTC and some of them are floating. Like 1 second later. That's really confusing. There might be a perfectly good reason, but there's nothing in the code to tell you that.
Isn't that this is where is it? That okay, not here. So this is sort of the edge of what is supported, and that's why. So that this time is not supported, anymore because it's not in the time range, or it's not. I don't know if it's supported the right word, but it's so there is this time range of the 32-bit timestamps, right? Which is starting from
yeah, I don't know.
70, not from 9001. So now I got confused because the 2038 is the end of the 32-bit, right?
Yeah.
So that seems to be like the date of when the 32-bit will end. I don't know the exact date, but
it's working. It's just giving you a different time zone. And if it didn't work at all, that would make some kind of sense.
No. I think it's. Well, I don't know. No, I think it's already there is a support for it, but then it gives you that. I don't know. Actually, it tells you now that it's UTC once it moved to the next date, and why? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But let me show something.
I thought this was going to be simple. Sorry.
Yeah. So a code maven slides Perl doc. I'm not sure if it's not here, I think. Okay. Slides. Because the Perl one is separated into two. So there's a Perl slides here, and then the test automation is a separate one here. And so let's do this here. And expect okay. So here is the thing. Okay, just I wanted to show, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but at least to give some value in this. Okay, so let's say oh, actually, no, this is an exception, so I can't do this. I wanted to show how to mark a test that is expected to fail. Okay.
Okay.
But because this is not just a failure, it's an exception, that thing wouldn't work. Okay, so I just, okay, so a little background. Or are you familiar with it? Or
what do you mean to do, or
the to-do test? Yes.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
Okay, then okay, there's nothing to it. I mean, basically, this is saying, okay, I have a test case here, but it now fails because I haven't fixed the bug yet. Or that's the to-do test.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But in this case, we can't do this because the code actually raises an exception. So you can't say this you can't use the to-do yet. Okay, you can use here the skip. Okay, that would be what you would use here. Right? You
could use test exceptions and use dies okay.
Right. Yeah,
or lives okay.
You can use, but the test exceptions are for testing whether an expected exception is there. Right. So okay, so
I think that works, doesn't it? I mean, I thought I'd been using it.
But so here, so if there is an exception and that's a bug, then you don't use the test exception module. But if there is an exception in the code that should be there, okay, so let's say, I mean, if we say that this is the correct behavior, okay, that this raises an exception. If this is the correct behavior, then we can write a test with the test exception verifying that indeed we got this exception. Okay. But if the exception is actually a bug, then you shouldn't use the test exception module because that's for other purposes. Then what you should use is a skip block.
Okay? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay, saying, okay, don't run this test because it's so bad that it will ruin my computer, or
Yeah, okay.
raise an exception or whatever. And then that test will be skipped. Okay, so you already you wrote the test, or you started to write the test, but you still keep skipping it because you know you haven't, because you know that it would raise an exception. So we could let's just try this. So now if I run this test in the right window, then it will raise an exception and won't work. So I can say I can tell it to skip. Okay, so this is what I need to do. And skip. There's no condition now, and here this doesn't work. Okay, and if I run the test now, okay, so this itself, here I told it that I'm skipping one test, so the test count is now 3. And there should be a test here, okay? There should be an okay something. Okay, something with DT. Time zone is floating, let's say. I don't know, what something. Okay. So now this test is skipped. This whole block is skipped.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Okay, it wasn't a lot of information, and maybe you probably already knew it. So, but at least I have a feeling that okay, I said something. Okay, so I think we should stop now. I upload this video, even though we were just trying to figure out something, and then we reached the conclusion that is probably not even a bug.
Yeah, I might put a comment on the issue.
Yeah. So we okay. So okay. And please do comment on the issue because I feel that I don't even know what should be there.
Yeah.
Okay, and at least if someone returns, then at least you understand this, unlike me. Okay. Okay, and then see you next week. Okay, we'll try to figure out what else to work on. Hopefully, that will be more successful again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So see you next week. Bye bye.